Hello, folks. This is Ruben Dua from Dubb, and I would like to introduce you to Violet Rainwater. In this video, we're going to be showing you how to 3x your insurance sales with modern technology. I just wanted to give a quick introduction on Violet. So let's just go through some bullets here because this is very, very impressive stuff. So number one is that she's a sales architect with over 25 years of experience. She's the founder of Rainmaker's Way, a sales enablement and development company. She helps drive 7- and 8-figure sales growth numbers. Think about that for a second. And in fact, one of the case studies that she's going to mention is how she 3x'd an insurance company's sales to over $45 million. So I can't wait to hear about that. She's been on the MDRT, the $1 Million Roundtable, for 9 years. Now, just to put that into perspective, only 8% of insurance sales reps actually get to the first year, and she did it 9 years. Very impressive. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Violet. Violet, give us a state of the union. How do we 3x our insurance sales?
Ruben, thank you so much. Delighted to be here. You know, it's really about understanding the modern consumer. And today's modern consumer likes to communicate very differently than they did when I first got into the business 25 years ago. So much has changed in sales. And yet I find, especially in the insurance business, people are still selling like it's 1997 when I got into the business. And so it's so important to utilize the technological advances, digital technology especially, because the consumers have spoken and this is their preferred way of communicating. We're going to talk a lot about numbers and statistics today. But once you are able to incorporate these different technological advancements and start using video in your sales process and start tracking the metrics and the data, it's going to be a complete game changer. And sales is going to go from being, oh, it's so hard, to you're going to have efficiency and ease with every single prospect.
Okay, so now I want to jump right into a case study. Now, this case study, I'd like for you to give us as specific details as you can with respect to their revenue growth and specifically what you were able to do. And most importantly, what we can learn from that.
Yeah, when I came to Insurance Centers of America, they didn't have systems and processes for anything. They didn't have a CRM. They weren't using video. And so what I did is I went in there and built them a sales system, something that they can actually track and manage all of the leads that they're getting. You know, so if you're still working from a notebook or a notepad or even an Excel spreadsheet, there really is a much more efficient way to prospect and move the clients from when they first meet you all the way to signing up with you. And so what I did with them is, I mean, this was a big project. This is a larger company, but I went in there and we built a CRM. We built a campaign. I believe in 7 touch point campaign, because the modern consumer, you have to touch them 5 times before they even are open to talking to you. And so I built all the sales campaigns and all the assets. We got some client testimonials that really sold it by itself. When you start getting video testimonials of clients that are so happy with the work that you've done, you don't even have to sell. You're like literally educating the client and then you take their order. You know, there's no like pushing or being aggressive or reverse psychology. None of that is needed when you're using the latest technology.
Yeah. So what I really love about this is that we're presenting the case study specifically of a president of an insurance company, a large insurance company, Insurance Centers of America. There's also a case study that you have with an individual sales rep by the name of Natasha. Take us through what sort of her before and after state.
Yeah, so she worked for a really big life insurance company, and they do other things besides life insurance, but she was predominantly selling life insurance. And they were very old school. You know, they started every sales presentation with like 20 minutes about them and the company and all the things that don't work in the modern workplace. I'm sorry, but no one cares about you and your company. What they care about is how are you going to solve their pain. And so I worked with her for a few months and we really revamped her entire sales process. Even though she went through this extensive training that was in-house, I told her to forget everything that they taught her. And so she learned a whole new way to connect and communicate. And one of that was using video to really drive connection with all of her prospects. And she went from being a good producer to being #1 in the company.
There it is. Talk about a before and after story. What is the problem in the insurance sales industry? What are companies, what are reps struggling with right now?
Yeah, it's the noise, it's competition. There's so much noise out there. I mean, you walk down the block and you will see, front-facing insurance agencies, and then there's a bunch that are virtual. And so with so much noise out there, with so much competition, it's really hard to grow a book of business. But it doesn't have to be that way. Again, what I find in the insurance space is that they're quite behind with technology. And so I like to give the analogy that you're trying to work with your hands tied behind your back. And so imagine if you were able to utilize the tools that make selling fun and easy. A lot of times when I've used video, I've had people tell me without me ever meeting them is that they feel like they already know me. And that's why they were talking to me, because there's already that connection that we've made just from me using video. And I see very few insurance professionals utilizing video in order to nurture and grow their book of business.
Well, I think what you're referring to maybe is the parasocial relationship that we feel when we watch someone on a video. We feel like we get to know them. So the first time I saw a video of you, I felt like I knew you. And by the time we spoke, my trust factor was through the roof, because I feel like I've met her and seen her, and she seems like a really great person to work with. And here we are years later, still as partners. So it's power. It's power.
It is. It's the power of video. Absolutely.
That's right. So talk to me about sales architecture. What is sales architecture, and how can it benefit an insurance company?
Yeah, so many people are not even familiar with what a sales architect does. I get that question a lot. But if you think about the sales process, from the time the lead comes in, or from the time that you get the email, or maybe it's your existing book of business, there's so much that can be done with that book of business. And so it's really about elevating your current sales process, or your sales system, as I like to say it. And so my question for you is, are you creating campaigns within your book of business to cross-sell those opportunities, those relationships that you already have, whether it's cross-selling a different product line, or asking for referrals, or even getting a testimonial video? And so as a sales architect, what I do is I come in and I either build a new sales system. If there's no CRM, if there's no tech stack, I create the tech stack. I start building all the assets. I build the sales campaigns. I like to use 7 touch points, because again, today's consumer needs you to touch them at least 5 times in order for them to even take a look at what you're doing. And so you need somebody that has a very extensive sales background, but also knows technology and can work with your tech department, can work with your marketing team, your sales leaders, and then also get your sales team excited about this new sales process that you're bringing in. You need to get that buy-in, because if you don't get that buy-in and they have a negative attitude about the new sales process, the way that they're now going to be selling, it's going to really create a lot of sales friction all around, because their energy translates. And so I do all of it. I create the strategy, I build the systems, I work with technology, I build the templates, I build the assets, we create the videos, and then I get the sales team trained and I teach them how to implement and execute the strategy. And then I stay on and I tweak it as we go to make sure that we create a repeatable process that works. Because once you have a repeatable process that works in sales, then sales becomes easy and it becomes fun. And you can't wait to get on the phone and dial for dollars or make a video for dollars. It's when it works, we want to do it again. It's when it doesn't work, when we're putting in all this hours, all this time, and nothing is happening.
Well, as the CEO of a software company, my 2 favorite words are repeatability and scalability. So all right, I wanted to present, this is a sort of a somewhat generic sales architecture diagram that I think is extremely high level. This type of diagram, I think, has to be created, as you mentioned, it has to be created very specifically for each and every business. So this is just a really quick snapshot of what a potential process could look like. But realistically speaking, there's a lot of zoom in points on a true sales architecture plan, which is what you're talking about. And I think that needs to be created on a custom basis for every single company. So it's really, really valuable.
It's never the same. It's never the same, because no 2 books of business are the same. Even within an insurance company, you have different agents that specialize in different things. And so depending on their clients and those pain points and the opportunities and the sales cycle, we have to adjust it to really meet the needs of the insurance professional.
Okay, so let's jump into smiling and dialing. Smile for sales. All right. So what I'm going to do is while you're explaining to us what it means to prospect with video, I'm going to pull up a real life video of you prospecting with video. So we'll actually show an exact example.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So prospecting with video, it's a really efficient way to rise above the noise and differentiate. For example, one of my biggest clients, and this was in the insurance industry, I made one video introducing myself. I sent it on LinkedIn and I landed a $240,000 contract. So it is possible to do it that way. You can also use video as a follow-up, and that's what this is right here that you're going to see. If you go to any networking events, if you meet a neighbor, if you meet a strategic alliance, the best thing that you can do instead of writing an ordinary email in Word copy, because the statistics even show if you send an email in Word copy, your customers are going to retain, if they read it, or your prospects and customers are going to retain 10% of it. But if you take that and put it in a video, they'll retain 95% of it. So that's almost 10xing your efforts. And so here's that video to give you guys an example.
All right, let's take a listen. I mean, this is really remarkable here. So let's just put this into perspective here. You send a video like this and you earn 5, 6, 7-digit contracts because you build trust. There's a value conveyance. There's a connection that made. You said it best. You said, and I'm going to let you say it, but the deeper I'll start you off, but you complete it. The deeper the
connection, the greater the conversion. Sales is a game of connection. People say it's a numbers game. It's not. You can do 100 dials and get nowhere because you're not connecting. It's all about connecting. You can make 5 dials and close 5 people if you're able to connect with them on a deeper level. And that's what separates successful salespeople from ones that aren't so successful. And so what that video does, it also rolls out the red carpet, because that's what I believe the modern consumer wants. They want to feel like they're important to you, that you value them, you value their business. They're not going to just be, calling in on some hotline, talking to some robot, or, that you are an actual person. And this is how you do your business, by personalizing everything and putting that red carpet touch on everything from the beginning when they meet you all the way throughout the relationship.
You mentioned in the beginning of the video that, one of the biggest problems from a sales perspective that we're dealing with is this idea of noise. There's a lot of competition. Anyone can get into the space now. They can start a company, they can get a certificate, they can get a degree, they can work for a company, and they can start selling X. So we, as the seasoned professionals, we need to figure out better ways to build trust, to get people to know, like, and trust us, and eventually to hit our numbers and then some, to get those referrals and those testimonials and really start that process that you're talking about. And I think that the biggest realization right now is to understand that the problem on the internet, if you're using any type of technology or the internet to sell, is trust. The biggest problem is trust. People have a hard time trusting. Stranger danger, right? For sales, from a sales perspective, for a salesperson, strangers is where all the joy and the wealth and success come from. But from a consumer's perspective, strangers sometimes meets danger, and that's okay. That's not a problem. We can overcome that. It's actually an opportunity, because most of our competitors are not going to be using video like this to build that parasocial relationship, to get people to trust us, to trust you, Violet Rainwater, and to sign on the dotted line because you built that relationship in a sales cycle that's this long instead of this long, because no one wants to deal with a long sales cycle. And I think trust can.
And you hit it on the nail. There's not a lot of insurance professionals. There are some, and they are thriving. They're seeing how much easier it is to grow and nurture their book of business. But because there's not that many insurance agents, I believe the future of work is more and more people are going to start using video. So why not be one of the early adopters to this?
Yeah.
And that way differentiate and, really be part of this whole new wave of work and innovation. I think it's so important to always be on the leading edge of any industry that you're a part of, because that's who consumers want to work with. But the nice thing about this technology is it really builds a connection. And you already know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Well, let's break this down a little bit. So the first thing I want to show you is that this here is a video landing page. There's a specific URL. It's branded with your logo, and you can record a video from your screen, from your webcam, from your phone within seconds. Once you record that video, this video landing page gets automatically built automatically. Like within seconds, it's built. And then on that page, you have calls to action. So here's a book a time with Violet. You can download the video. You can click on any of your emails or your social links. And here is something that's absolutely powerful is that the end user, the prospect in this case, they can book a time in your calendar. So you will send this video to them. Maybe you've met them, maybe you haven't, you send them, and then you send this video to them via email, SMS, LinkedIn, whatever you'd like to do, and then they can book a time. So just think about that for a second. I'll just take a moment to break this down. You've created a video that functions like a clone of yourself, like a sales assistant, and the sales assistant is saying, please click on the video below or the button below or the calendar integration below to book a time in your calendar. That, my friends, is scale. And I think that's what Violet is talking about here.
Well, and imagine coming in on a Monday and having 10 appointments booked, that you didn't have to be a part of. You literally just sent them an email. I like to say that Dubb and using video is the ultimate sales enablement hack for the modern workplace. And that's why it's your one-stop shop, really. In that one email, I'm able to add any brochures that I want to add. I can create a playlist and have other videos, maybe some testimonial videos. Those are always a great thing to add. So it really is the ability to put all of your assets and everything you have into just one email, where clients can now go and book a time with you or download your brochure or watch a marketing video or testimonial video. There's no other technology that really allows you to do that. And then don't even get me started on the metrics that Dubb gives you, because that is just so beneficial, especially as a sales architect, for me to track whether my emails are working or not. So many people send emails and they don't know, are they being read? Are they being open? Are they efficient? You really need the tracking and the metrics in order to make sure that your strategy in sales is efficient.
So important. Okay, so we talked about videos. We talked about the importance of driving conversions from those videos. We talked about this idea of building a parasocial relationship, building trust with people to shorten the sales cycle, to increase your conversion rates. Now, what I'd like to know is, how do we take this process and how do we go and make more wins from our wins? How do we get referrals? How do we get testimonials? Yeah. In a moment, I'm actually going to do a demo of how to send a prospecting video, how to send a testimonial ask. But what I'd love from you is why it's so important to get referrals and testimonials.
Yeah, because I think that's the easiest way to sell is when somebody refers you, there's already a connection. That's already a warm opportunity. And so using video to ask for referrals, if let's say you just had a client that you really went above and beyond and they were like, oh my goodness, thank you so much, you're a lifesaver. I'm certain that insurance agents talk to their prospects and clients weekly that tell them what a great job they've done. Well, that's a great time to ask them, like, hey, I'm so glad that I was able to help you with this. By the way, if there's anyone that you know, friends or family, that could benefit from my service, I try to pride myself on the level of service that I bring to every customer. There is a referral link below. You can easily send this video to them and it introduces me to them. Or from a testimonial perspective, we should always be getting testimonials and adding it to our asset library, because if you ever have a big account that you're trying to close, let's say that you're an insurance professional and you work in the commercial space and you're trying to close a huge construction opportunity. If you already have a construction customer that you did an amazing job for, hopping on a call with them and asking them some questions and then taking that video and making it now part of your sales process when you're prospecting for construction opportunities, that's going to blow you out of the water, because that shows that not only do you specialize with working with construction companies, but you specialize in doing an amazing job for those clients as well.
So important. What I'd like to show very quickly is how easy it is to record a video from your phone.
Yeah.
And then to get that into the body of an email or LinkedIn or SMS, whatever channel you want to use. Because the thing that I think that some people struggle with is this idea that, oh, recording a video, that means I'm using YouTube, or that means I'm using social media, or that means I'm getting a production crew and a makeup and hair and lighting and microphones and stuff. But the fact of the matter is that we've got a production company right in our pocket, every single one of us. So I want to show how easy that is.
And free and cost effective.
You know, it's amazing. So, and I think another thing is authentic. When someone sees a video of us that's self-recorded and it's authentic and it's imperfect, it builds a certain level of authenticity and connection. Because when we see someone that's fallible, we see that they're a human being. You know, they're not a spokesperson. It's not Alex Trebek on a video screen. It's someone that actually is just like us. And we love Alex, but you know, we don't have to be perfect spokespeople. We actually can be ourselves and still make real meaningful connections. So here I am on the Dubb mobile app here. It's just a simple camera here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna click the record button right here, and then I'm gonna record a video. Hey Violet, how are you? It's Ruben. I just wanted to take a moment to introduce myself. I have some great products. I'd love to get to know you on a personal level and see how I can provide value. Take a look at the next video to see a screen video on some of the things that we do, followed by a testimonial video. Click on the button below to book a time in my calendar. Can't wait to speak to you. Very generic script, not perfect, a little maybe overly casual, but I have one clip here. Now I can add another clip if I'd like with the Dubb mobile app, or I can just run it as is. So in this case, I'm just gonna upload it. It's good enough for now. I like it. It's gonna upload really quickly right now. As you can see that little line uploading. So it uploads within a couple of seconds, you have a video uploaded. And then what I can do is I'll go ahead and share my screen now, and I can actually get this video into the body of an email. So let's get my email ready here, and then let's go to the Dubb dashboard. I'm gonna select videos here. And in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and take that video. Well, let's just take this video that I did the other day. This one's a good one. I'm gonna click on share and send, and then all I have to do is click copy for email, go to the body of my email, add a little bit of text for context, and then boom, I've got my video here. Now, this is not embedding the video within the body of the email. What this is doing is this is putting an animated GIF. So it's the first 3 seconds of the video to sort of entice the person to want to click on it. And then once they click on it, sure enough, they're going to go get that instantly generated video. So here it is with my calls to action. So you can take your videos and you can literally upload those to any channel. You can share a URL via LinkedIn, via SMS, via WhatsApp. It doesn't matter what the channel is. It takes just a couple of seconds. And sure enough, here is actually the video that I recorded just a couple of seconds ago. So you can see that this technology works really quickly, all about quality and quantity in this case. But use video. That's the requirement here.
Yeah, and it's super efficient. I mean, if you think about if you are wanting to make like 100 outreaches a week, you can make one video, one video and send it out to 100 people and have metrics and tracking and see if it's working. And what I love about Dubb is that it shows you like right on your dashboard, who was the last person to open your video and how many times. I just got booked to speak, and I could tell you that I knew that they picked me before they even told me because of how many times that email was opened. So I could tell that it was forwarded because it was opened 87 times and my video was watched like 19 times. So I knew that it was forwarded in the company. And so that kind of data, it's imperative in this new workplace. If you're not using metrics, if you're not tracking, if you're not using data, then again, I believe you're leaving hundreds of thousands on the table because you have no idea if what you're doing is working for you or not. And if you're not using video, then I guarantee you that there's a lot of money on the table to be had.
Yeah, and what we're talking about specifically is sending video messages for sales. So this is an example of real-time activity reporting that occurs when you send a prospect a video message, just like what Violet sends. So in this case, you can see all the activity reporting for the videos that we send for our sales process. So you can see here that Rob opened up our email. Danny watched our video. Marcy clicked on our call to action. Lewis booked a time in our calendar. All of these are real-time metrics of sales touch points that are occurring as a result of sending this video. So this is sort of like automating your sales touch point process without having to build all the architecture behind it. That's of course what you need Violet to help you build to take your growth even further. But just imagine on that video page, it becomes one of your best sales assets. And you can see here from the activity reporting that it works.
Yeah, and it's not just for email. I know I sent an email to a prospect and it went in their spam. But I send them the same video on LinkedIn, and that caught their attention because you can send it as a LinkedIn message. And again, what's so important for insurance professionals to understand is there's different modalities today. And if you're just using email, again, you're leaving money on the table. But by incorporating various, like whether it's LinkedIn or maybe your clients are on Facebook, you can use this video platform, and it's that same copy and paste and put it in the messenger in LinkedIn or in Facebook, Instagram, however you want to use it.
Yeah, there's another two more pieces of technology that I wanted to quickly present here. So the first is we all should have a desktop app on our Mac or our PC that allows us to record what we see on our screen. Because right now we're all very used to being in live teleconference meetings, Zoom, WebEx, Google Meet, any of those technologies, which are great, but those are synchronous technology environments. Asynchronous videos where we can pre-record a video and then actually send that, in this case, to a prospect or an existing client. The reason why it's so efficient to use asynchronous video is that you can pre-record it and then the end user or the viewer can watch it on their own terms, on their tablet, on their desktop, on their mobile phone, whenever they want. That's value because you're not sort of having a captive audience in a Zoom that you probably have to go chase down to even get. And then who knows if they're actually engaged. Having a video allows them to watch it multiple times. They can click pause, they can fast forward, they can rewind and really consume that information, share it with a spouse, share it with a teammate, share it with a friend, a boss, whoever it may be. This is all very valuable information. So I do recommend that you guys get the Dubb, the free Dubb desktop recorder, the free Dubb mobile app, and also the free Dubb Chrome extension. So these are just simple technologies that allow you to record videos from your webcam, from your phone, from your screen, or all the above, and then to make those instantly generated landing pages. Violet, where can people get in touch with you?
So you can always find me on LinkedIn under Violet Rainwater. However, you can visit my website, www.therainmakersway.com. I'm always providing resources on how to drive sales excellence in the modern workplace. And that would be the best way to reach out to me. I'm always offer complimentary strategy calls. So if you are a business owner and you are really looking for growth, if that's on your radar for 2024 and you want to revamp your sales systems, if you're tired for paying for marketing and you're just looking to do something a little bit different, why don't we bring down your marketing costs and actually create a sales system for you with sales campaigns and all those assets that you can use, because it will be a repeatable process that converts.
Beautiful. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to share your URL specifically to get a free trial to Dubb on. And the great thing about this is that if you sign up with this link, we're going to send you more educational content from Violet. We actually have a 1-hour webinar that we'd love to send you, which is extremely powerful. And it's sort of a deep dive on this. So this is that URL. I encourage you to click on this URL or just type it into your browser and sign up for a free account, a free trial on Dubb. There's no credit card required. It takes about 60 seconds to sign up, and you can start recording videos from your webcam, phone, or screen literally within minutes. And you can send it to a spouse or a partner or a boss or someone on your team, and you can actually start to get the results and see what it's like to send a real video message. Because I'm telling you guys, we used to say it's the next best thing to real life, but now we say it's better than real life because it's so incredibly efficient. You don't need to chase, you don't need to hunt someone down. You can send them a quick video via email, LinkedIn, SMS, WhatsApp, Facebook, it does not matter. And they can watch that video on their terms. They can build trust, see your value, and then pick up the phone, send you an email, and eventually work with you and become a referral and send you a video testimonial. And actually capturing video testimonials and collecting them and sharing them is another thing that the Dubb platform can do, which we will be sharing in a future video. So make sure you connect with us on LinkedIn and reach out to Violet and type in that URL in your browser and see what happens. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ruben.
Thanks, Violet.